Hello, darlings. So week 2 is over. Well, almost over. Today's Saturday. So technically still have a few hours left in week 2. But I'm going to go ahead and do this video so that I make sure that I stay on the timeline and keep my commitment like I said I would. So for those of you new to this channel, this is where I apply Bashar's formula of following my greatest excitement to my life and then share with you, the viewers, on how things are going and what happened to me that week. I think that applying the formula over a period of time is going to cause us to really see amazing results in our lives. So if you're not yet doing so, I hope that you will follow along with me and do the same thing with your life. Apply your formula to your life and then share in the comments and let us know how things are going. So with that, I'll go ahead and get started with my week 2 results. It was the week I think started off maybe not so great, but got a lot better and ended on a really positive note. So on June 1st, we went to the aquarium. I went with my grandchildren and it was a good day. I love the aquarium. I haven't been in so long, but it was really nice. Saw so many cute little sea critters and my grandsons just really had a great time. Whenever I came home, for some reason, I felt like I wanted to have a drink. I don't know why I feel this way sometimes. So my daughter, my teenager who still lives at home, I needed to get her dinner and she really likes to go out to eat. So we decided to go to a Mexican restaurant, had a margarita. And then after that, I needed to pick some things up from the grocery store and I bought a bottle of wine and then I drank that. So, drink a little bit too much wine, but I surprisingly felt good the next day. I think it was because I got I think I got a Chardonnay. I normally get red wine, but anyway, I felt fine the next day. So the next day I ended up discovering a video by Bashar. He's not somebody that I normally follow, but one of the things that he was talking about in the video that I watched was about how we need to have conviction. And I thought back on me over the past year, and I've known about the formula for quite some time, but I've never really followed it consistently and never really had conviction, like a sense of urgency or a sense of passion about things. And I think for me, that has been part of the challenge, is keeping that going. And one of the things that Bashar talks about is being passionate about being passionate. To keep that state of being going. And he really talks about this in one of his channelings that he gives us, and it's about the movie The Secret. So I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember when that video came out, or if you watched it, but it was by Rhonda Byrne, I think is how you say her name. And it was amazing. I remember seeing it. I think it's maybe like 20 years old. I'm not sure, but it's pretty old. But I remember seeing that and just being blown away. Like, I knew it resonated with me and it was so powerful. But the thing that I didn't quite understand is how to keep that going long term. And since then I have followed Abraham Hicks, for those of you who know about them, and then also Dr. Joe Dispenza, who has a very scientific way of explaining basically everything that Bashar teaches. Bashar is really the only teacher that I have found that just makes so much sense in all areas, and his way of presenting the information makes it really easy to understand. And then also the formula is just super simple and a super way to apply it to your life. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit. I'm not sure where I was going with, conviction. So yeah, the 52 weeks with Bashar, I really want to have like a sense of conviction with that and a sense of urgency, and like applying these things and then sharing them with you guys as well. And then also, I'd love to hear your comments on the different techniques that you've used with Bashar. I'd like to keep this whole channel just strictly related to Bashar and his teachings. But anyway, I feel like you need to go in, or I need to be wholehearted with this. Like, I can't just half-ass it. And that's what I feel like I have been doing with my life, is like, yeah, things are pretty good, and no, they're not really the way that I want them to be, but just kind of like going through the motions. And I really am tired of that. Like, I want to go all in, and I want to get like a 10 out of 10 in each area of my life. So conviction, I guess, is the word of the day, and having a sense of urgency. So yeah, I think this was an amazing day for me. This was the second day into the week, and I just made a commitment to really have conviction and to follow through with the things that I want to change in my life. And then working on this channel and producing these videos, I want to follow through and do what it is, I feel like I need to do or want to do. I also fasted that day. So one of my goals is to fast 1 day a week. So like have 1 day where I eat just whatever, and then have 1 day where I fast for 36 hours. So I did that, and I really wasn't hungry at all. On the third day, I made a commitment to take my grandkids to the water park. I asked them what would be the one thing that they wanted to do the whole summer. And they said the water park. So I took them to Soaky Mountain Water Park, and it's not really something I would have done by myself, of course, but they really loved it. And so I thought about that. I actually made a video about that if you want to watch it, because the old me would have been like, oh, we got to be out in the sun all day, and it's so expensive, and it is, you have to be dedicated to spending the money. It is quite expensive, but it's worth it. It was really fun. But anyway, Bashar talks about mocking things up. So going through and really being that person that you want to be. So I really want to be the fun grandma. I want to be the grandma that's in great shape, the grandma that has a lot of fun. I want to be the rich grandma, the one that doesn't worry about money. Like, oh, you can't have that. That's too expensive. I do not want to be that grandma. I want to be the rich, fun grandma. So what I did, and I made a video about this if you want to watch it, but I went through myself at the water park before I got there. And I practiced being in that mindset of the rich, fun grandma. And I had such a great time. It was an amazing day. The weather was perfect. I really had a great time. So mocking it up is a great technique that Bashar gives us to get in the state of being that we want to be in, like our better version, our 2.0 version. Let's show up for things in that version of ourselves that we want to be, instead of being like I said, in my case, like the grandma that's worried about how expensive it is. It's worried about being out in the hot sun, that would rather be, sitting in her pajamas, having her second cup of coffee or what have you. So anyway, rambling again, but that was a great day, mocking it up, went to the water park, had a great day. On the next day, I had to go to the dentist. So I actually made a video about that because I realized a lot of people probably hate going to the dentist. I don't have a lot of anxiety about it, but I realize some people do. And Bashar gives some techniques on how to handle that. So I shared that in my video. Basically going into your heart, taking some deep breaths, getting into your heart space, acknowledging what you have, being grateful for what you have. So making a list of gratitude for the people in your life or in your experience that caused that to happen. Gratitude for insurance that allows you to go to the dentist, or if you're paying cash, being thankful for the job that allowed you to make that money, or if it was gifted to you, being thankful, for that gift. what have you. So just being really grateful for acknowledging what you have, and then being very grateful for it, making a gratitude list of like the people involved in the experience and the equipment. My dentist was super friendly, helpful. The place that I go to is very clean and super comfortable. The chairs are amazing. So just being grateful for all of that, and then also visualizing the best possible outcome, because one of the things that we do as human beings, and I do this too, I'm trying to get out of the habit of doing that, is we like to visualize the worst possible outcome and talk about the worst possible outcome and talk about like all the bad experiences that we've had. And all of that does is put us in the vibrational state where we're most likely to have the same type of outcome. So a great thing to do is to visualize the best possible scenario. So visualize yourself like entering the dentist office and seeing the receptionist, and they're so happy to see you and they're so friendly. And then going back for your cleaning, the hygienist is super helpful and super friendly and sensitive to your needs, and just go through the whole process. But like I said, I did make a video on that if you want to check that out. The other thing that happened that day was I got a rejection letter for, I don't want to get into the details because I don't know if it's something that I want to share right now. But anyway, there's something that I'm involved in that I could have received some money from, but the answer was no for me. And it did hit me a little bit, and I, was disappointed. But then I remember what Bashar talks about as far as staying in a positive state no matter what happens, and you'll get a positive result. So everything that happens, there are no accidents to what happens in our life. Everything is a reflection for us. Like physical reality is just a mirror. So everything is either a one-to-one reflection, or it is, maybe we are here and having that experience to benefit somebody else, and we may never know, what that was. So whenever something happens, ask yourself, like, feel your feelings for sure. I'm not saying to deny your feelings or repress them, because then repress or suppress that's gonna lead you into more trouble down the road. Feel your feelings, take the hit, and then after you have calmed down about it, take some deep breaths, and then think about, just stay in a positive state. Just realize that physical reality is just a mirror, and then think about what you want the desired outcome to be in that positive state, and just stay there. More to come on that later. I do want to do a video on that, and I want to give a more detail as far as what Bashar recommends on that. I don't feel like I didn't explain it that well, but I plan to in a different video. But it was a no for me. It was a rejection, but I did not let it get me down. I went for a walk that afternoon. I did my workout. Everything just went as planned. All right, the next day I spent the morning doing a lot of shopping online. I was looking for a playpen to keep at my house for when my grandson stays at my house. But I feel like I did that far too long. I wasted too much time doing that, ended up not finding anything. But anyway, I decided to get busy. I did a lot of housework that day. I cleaned, did some laundry, stayed in a positive state, and did my workout. Everything went fine that day. The next day, I kept two out of three of my grandchildren. And then I had a good day. I love spending time with especially my youngest grandson. He's just over a year old, and he is just so precious. Like, he learns new things all the time. He's just so cute and just so connected to Source. You can sense it and feel it. And then later on, I went for a walk with my daughter, and my oldest grandson was there, and he was wanting a four-wheeler. And so my daughter started saying things like, saying things that we've all said and we've all heard, like, money doesn't grow on trees, and, I'm about to have my fourth baby, and, we can't afford it, things like that. So I made a comment like, oh, let's not shoot him down. Let's let him put it on his dream list because we don't want him to grow up with a sense of lack. So that kind of inspired me to maybe do another video later about how, the methods that we can use to talk to our children and the people in our lives whenever they are struggling financially or they're wanting something that they don't have the resources for right now. So instead of like getting into a state of lack and feeling sad about it, I think that there is a better way. So I want to investigate that and present that at a different time. But of course, contrast is good too, because that helps us, put something else into our vortex that eventually we will line up with, and it'll be amazing, once we have it. So there's really nothing bad happening when somebody is feeling lack. But like I said, it's my grandchild and then also my daughter, and I want them to have the tools to help them look at it a different way. So I want to come up with something that is a little bit more streamlined to help people in those situations. I kept up with my walk and my workout that day, so awesome. And then today I have focused on doing this video, and I have a little bit of grocery shopping to do, so feel like I'm gonna stick to my goals and everything for today. So all in all, I think it was a really good week. I am contemplating setting a goal for myself as far as completing one video a day on something. I haven't committed yet. I just think that might be a little bit too much for me. I don't want to cause myself stress, but at the same time, I want to challenge myself. So I am contemplating that. I haven't committed to it, but I've done pretty good this week as far as making videos and then also working on a book that I've started writing. I did really well sticking to my 130 grams of protein for this week and went for a walk each day. I did my workout. I did great with my wine consumption. I had wine on day 1 of the week and I haven't had any since then. I also, I made some positive choices. Like, I'm really proud of how I spent the week following my excitement. One of the things that I need to work on is the kratom consumption, because I feel like I use too much of it and I don't really need to. I'm on summer vacation and I don't need to power through anything. Like, I can rest when I want to rest, and I shouldn't be this is just my belief system. I don't believe that I should be taking kratom. I don't need to. I think that I can remain in a positive state without that. And I want to taper off for next week. I've actually made a tapering off schedule. So next week will be week 3. I'm going to taper off kratom, and then by week 4, it's going to be out of my life completely. So yeah, I committed to that. So that's the main thing that I want to change. I feel like I'm doing good with the wine consumption. I am going to have a cheat day tomorrow. We're going out on a boat for my son-in-law's birthday, and so I'm going to have some wine there. I'm going to eat whatever I want to, and then on Monday, I'm going to fast again and then start my new week. So overall, it was a really good week. I feel very excited about my life right now. I feel excited about this channel. I think that, 2 weeks has flown by. It's been, oh my gosh, it's just been a blur. So there's 50 weeks left, and I can't wait to see what is going to happen in these next 50 weeks. I think that I'm going to be a completely different person. Like, it's going to be wildly transformational, and I hope that you guys will go on this journey with me. So please like and subscribe, share your comments down below. I'm sorry if I rambled during this video. I think the Probably my weekly progress videos will be a little bit longer, but I want to do a lot of shorter videos too, with applying some of the things that I have learned along the way. A lot of tools, Bashar gives a lot of tools and techniques on how to really live your best life, and I want to share those. I want to apply those consistently in my life, and I also want to share them with you so that you can get the results that you're after as well. So thank you for listening, and I'm so excited to be sharing this journey with you. Hopefully you have an amazing day.